Let me ask you something. Why aren't you converting more landlords? Not leads, landlords, real ones. People who actually follow through, build a relationship with your business and come back to you every time there's an opportunity. I guess you've spent time asking yourself that question. Maybe you've looked at your broker's call handling. Maybe you've tried different lead sources. Maybe you've even tweaked your follow-up process. But I want to suggest that none of those things are the real problem. The real problem is commitment. And landlords who come through the standard online lead generation model have none. They gave their details away in 30 seconds. They're probably talking to 4 brokers simultaneously. They have zero skin in the game and no particular reason to choose you over anyone else. And when you think about it, it's kind of obvious. You cannot build a relationship with someone who has no commitment to the process. Nobody can. It doesn't matter how good your brokers are. It doesn't matter how competitive your rates are. If the person on the other end of that call isn't committed, you're just another option they'll use to compare someone else's quote. That's the problem. That's always been the problem. My name's Matt Griffin, and once you see it this way, you'll never look at lead generation the same way again. This is how you build a brokerage that AI makes stronger, not obsolete. Now, here's something nobody in the lead generation industry will ever tell you. They know commitment is the problem. They've always known. But fixing it would mean generating fewer leads, charging more per lead, selling less volume, and that hurts their margins considerably. So instead, they sell you the idea that the answer is more leads, better data, and higher volume. Just keep the conveyor belt moving. Meanwhile, the conversion problem is yours to solve, not theirs. Volume is good for their business, whereas commitment would be bad. So volume is what you get every time. It's dressed up in different language, but fundamentally the same model. It's a system specifically designed to serve the lead generator, but not to solve your actual problem. Before I show you what we've built, I want to address something about the buy-to-let market itself. There's a narrative out there that landlords are disappearing, and that's only half the story. Yes, private landlords with 1 or 2 properties are selling up. The tax environment, the legislation, it's pushed a lot of casual landlords out. But here's what's replacing them. Professional landlords, people operating through limited companies with serious portfolios, lots of ambition and long-term plans. This isn't a shrinking market, it's a consolidating one. What's emerging is a landlord base that is more sophisticated, more ambitious, better capitalized, and far more valuable to a broker who knows how to serve them. These are not rate hunters. These are business owners building wealth through property. They need strategy, not just a mortgage. And critically, they are committed. The market isn't giving you fewer opportunities. It's giving you better ones. Now let me show you proof that this isn't just a theory. A few years ago, I worked with a business in the secured loan space. Same world as yours, brokers, financial products, customers who shop around. They had a standard lead generation model. Volume in, brokers call, some of them convert, most didn't. We made one change. We added a fact find to the funnel. Before a lead was ever passed to a broker, the customer completed a structured process, answering questions about their situation, their goals, what they actually needed. That process did one thing above everything else. It created commitment. The customer had invested time. They put something of themselves into the process. And that changed everything about the conversation that followed. Within 1 month, conversions doubled. Not improved, not nudged upward. And over the next 3 years, that business grew from converting 3 to 5 deals a month to consistently converting over 140 deals every single month. They're now one of the top 10 secured loan providers in the UK, and they are still growing. One idea changed everything. Commitment engineered at the start of the process instead of volume. That was the difference. Nobody had done it in that market before. We did. And now we're bringing it to the buy-to-let market. So here's what we've built. And I want you to notice how every single part of it comes back to the same idea. Commitment. It starts with lead generation, but built around commitment, not volume. Every landlord who comes through our funnel completes a fact find before they ever speak to a broker. They share their portfolio details, their goals, their current mortgage situation, what they're trying to achieve. By the time that lead reaches you, they are much more committed. Filling out a fact find takes thought and time. Nobody wants to do it twice. The moment a landlord completes yours, they are psychologically committed to that process. They are not going to start again from scratch with someone else. And what's more, rate hunters don't take the time to complete fact finds. Think about the calls your brokers get from landlords who just want to compare rates. Almost every single one comes from a landlord who has already completed a fact find with another broker. They've already chosen. Your broker isn't in a competition. They're just being used as a benchmark. When you hold the fact find, that's your competitive advantage. You're not pitching, you're advising someone who is already committed to working with you. Every other broker they speak to is just noise. Now, I want to talk about something that separates this model from anything else you have seen in lead generation. Think about your most valuable clients, the ones who come back repeatedly, who refer other landlords, who grow their portfolios and bring you bigger and more complex deals every year. What do they have in common? They understand property investment. They think strategically. They know how to build a portfolio, not just buy a house and hope for the best. They are educated landlords, and educated landlords are worth dramatically more to a broker than uninformed ones. But here is the problem. Until now, there has been no structured, accessible way for an ambitious landlord to get that kind of education without spending tens of thousands of pounds on courses, masterminds, and coaching programs. That gap has existed in this market for years, and we have built the platform that fills it. Every landlord who comes through our funnel gets access to a professional education platform, a clear, structured path to building a serious portfolio, tools, guidance, strategy, everything a committed landlord needs to grow. And here is what makes this extraordinary for your brokerage. Every landlord gets their own portal. Inside that portal are 3 AI agents, a portfolio coach, a tax specialist, and a broker. That broker is you. Your AI agent lives inside their educational journey. Every question they ask about finance, rates, equity, or restructuring, your agent answers it. Every milestone they hit in their education, your agent is there. You are not just their mortgage broker, you are embedded in the most important financial decision they make every day. That is a completely different relationship to anything your competitors have with their clients. Just imagine that for a moment. Hundreds of your leads, whether they are ready to transact or not, entering this education platform every single month. Every one of them coming into contact with an AI version of you. One that knows your rates, understands your products, and can answer their financial questions at any hour of the day or night. An AI agent that builds trust with your brand, builds and maintains a relationship whilst keeping you front of mind. And the moment an opportunity emerges, a remortgage window, an equity release, a portfolio ready to scale, it tells you, not them, you. That is not a lead generation tool. That is a silent member of your team that never sleeps, never misses an opportunity, and never lets a client drift to a competitor. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Will landlords actually engage with this? Here is what I know. Serious landlords, the professional limited company operators who are consolidating this market, are already spending tens of thousands of pounds on property education. The demand is not something we are trying to create. It already exists. We are simply putting your brokerage at the center of it. A landlord who invests in their education is showing you their commitment level. And committed, educated landlords are exactly the clients you want. Now, I want to talk to the entrepreneur in you. Think about every landlord you've ever spoken to who didn't convert at the time. Where are they now? Remortgaging with someone else, releasing equity with someone else, buying their next property through someone else, not because they didn't like you, but because the moment that lead went cold, there was nothing keeping the relationship alive. No touch point, no presence, and no reason to come back. That's what renting leads cost you. Not just the ones that don't convert today, but every future deal those landlords will ever do. Gone. Whoever happened to be in front of them when the time was right. What we're offering is ownership, a growing portfolio of committed landlord relationships that compounds over time. As those landlords grow their portfolios, bigger properties, more complex structures, larger loans, the value of your relationship with them grows with them. And while you're building that, your competitors are still on the conveyor belt, still buying volume and still losing clients at remortgage because they never engineered any real commitment in the first place. The brokers who embrace this model now, who build committed client relationships at scale and use AI to maintain those relationships around the clock, are going to look back in 5 years and recognize this as the moment everything changed. The ones who wait will be playing catch up. And in a market consolidating around professional committed landlords, catch up is a very expensive place to be. So here's where we are. The commitment problem is real. You've felt it. Every broker owner watching this has felt it. And now you can see exactly why the standard model was never going to solve it, because solving it was never in their interest. The fact find model is proven. We've seen it double conversions in a comparable market and help turn a new secured loans division into one of the UK's top 10 providers in just 3 years. Secondly, the landlord base is consolidating around exactly the kind of committed professional client your business should be built around. And finally, the tools to engineer that commitment, maintain it at scale, and turn it into a compounding asset exist right now. We are looking to work with a select number of brokerage owners to launch this. This is for brokers who are genuinely committed to building something that lasts. Brokers who want to lead and be at the forefront of this AI shift rather than reacting to it. It's not for everyone. We want to partner with the right people, and I'll be honest with you about that on the call when we speak. So, if that's you, if you're watching this and the commitment problem resonates because you've lived it, then let's talk. There's a link below this video. Book a call and we'll spend 30 minutes looking at exactly how this works for your business specifically. I'll be as straight with you on that call as I've been here, and I look forward to meeting you. Thank you for listening.